Thought I would make a recording because I'm running into some issues and I'm causing SketchUp to crash. And then when the pop-up bug report comes up, or the splat report, it asked me to explain what I was doing. And I'm so involved in the process that I don't remember. I'm clicking and moving and doing things, and all of a sudden it crashes. And so I thought maybe I would record. Excuse me, it's a little late, but I thought I would record what's going on. Now, first off, I'm on a Mac, an M1 Mac, MacBook Pro, fully spec'd out. The only thing I didn't do is the 8 terabyte hard drive. I went with a 4. This is SketchUp 2023, I believe. Yep, Pro 2023. There you go. And these are the extensions that I have loaded. I'm actually paying a subscription for Condoc Tools, Profile Builder, which comes with Quantifier Pro, and then all of the Medic BIM tools, because I design houses. And so this Nathaniel Wilkerson is amazing on the things he's done. So that's the configuration that I have on this laptop. One of the tools that Nathaniel has is an extender tool. And so what I want to do is, I was making these rake walls. And these are all grouped independently. These are groups, not components. I think you can, where is it? Yeah, solid group. So just look over here on the entity info. I haven't tagged anything yet. So with Medic's tool, which I also have shortcut keys. Let's see, do I have it here? Yeah, my Stream Deck's not, hold on. There's the Stream Deck I want. I just, I don't have any really good looking icons for SketchUp. I've done searches. They're all white background and just all kinds of crazy. And I like this. I like dark. I put giant oversized letters. Just, I don't know. Because, but if I had PNG transparent alpha channel icons, I like dark mode only because where I work, I can control the lighting. And if I keep it dim, the Stream Deck looks a little too bright. So anyways, enough of that. I'm going to show you how the Medic tool works. I'm going to extend, right? And I'm going to extend to the bottom of this. And then I'm going to come down here. And I want to grab the top of this group. But then it does that. So I don't know what this is. So then if I hit Command Z or Control Z, return it. And then it's like, okay, where do you want to go? I want to go right there. And then I want to try this one. That surface right there. And it's like it doesn't do this right. So, and here's the thing. I have not watched enough of the videos. All these guys that make these amazing extensions or plugins, they have videos. But man, Nathaniel has like 70 videos. At least 40 in, I don't know if it was the wall or the roof. I can't remember. But I just have not been able to find the time. If there was some kind of way I could just watch them, not have to watch beginning to end, I'd have to, well, I shouldn't say I don't have the time. I need to make time. because I don't understand why this isn't working. When I go to extensions, Medique project, Medique extend, then I go up here and I pick this face. Notice how it doesn't turn solid green till you move your cursor, and then it goes solid green. I don't know what that's all about, but anyways, I should be able to, from what I've been told, I should be able to just go bloop, 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 and all the way along, and it'll just do it. So let's try this one. Now, why is it, what's over here? What is this? You see how I was just moving? See what it's doing? Why is it doing that? I'm just moving the cursor. Click. Okay, guess what? That one worked. Awesome. Let's do the same thing on this one. Click. Now this is how it's supposed to work. Why am I seeing? Look at that. Way over there, there's a magenta. Maybe there's a certain part of the... Yeah, maybe when I was focused on here, maybe there's something here. There's some geometry there that I don't know about. Oh, yeah. One more. Yes, thank you. Okay, so now I can spacebar there. What is this geometry that's here? Okay. Well, I got what I wanted because now I can... I already had the rafter up there. I can get rid of these plates here. What is that? Is that a tape measure? Okay, so now I have the rake wall. And all I would do is, if I was building this rake wall, I may end up doubling this one. It just depends. If I think it needs that extra strength, I would double it. If it's going to be tied in with something, then I wouldn't double it. So now what I can do is dimension. What happened? I wonder why it's doing this. SketchUp 2022. SketchUp 2023. All right, yeah, so I'm trying to, I wonder if I can delete that. Edit profiles. Boom, let's do that. I want this to be that. Boom. Okay. Now I should be able to close this and it stays. All right, good. So what I want to do is dimension. Where do I have that? Here we go, dimension. This is one of those strange things that I think it's called Look at Me or whatever, the orientation of like the mannequin. When you're first starting the program, there's a mannequin. So dimensioning in 3D, I guess, is challenging because I'd have to tell the dimension which way it's oriented. And at least this way, as you rotate, see how the numbers work. I have them in line, which is going to be a problem when I go like that. Or not. Whatever. But this is good. Now I can export this to SketchUp Layout and compare this to Chief and to AutoCAD. Because this is what I need. Chief has a problem dimensioning point-to-point dimension to the long point. And it is absolutely critical over this wall that was over here. let's just show this. I deleted the plate earlier, but I'm going to go with tape measure and just put a mark in here. Come across 3.5. Okay. And now I'm going to go 16 this way. Let's do 48 this way. Well, look what it did. It made a little mark right here. And then I can just come up. Boom. All right, so it's critical over the outside of framing to hook your tape and come over 15 1/4 and 16 3/4, which is the same as over framing 16-inch to the center. And what you're doing is you're laying out so that on your corner you can get a full 4-foot wide sheet of plywood. And then since this wall is taller than 10 feet, normally they would call for mid-span blocking. But if you're going to have an 8-foot sheet of plywood up here, put your blocking in so that it splits the top of the plywood so that you can have fully supported panel edges. I think that's the terminology in the code. Don't just let the software just put it in random, or you're going to be possibly doing a second row of blocking, which that's technique also. I think I'm about done with this one. I'm going to put this on my regular channel until I can get some time with Mr. Larry Belk, and we crank out a couple videos because he's got a wealth of knowledge, and he is fired up about sharing some of his design ideas with the world. So the CAD 911 will have to just kind of be on hold for maybe a couple more days. Things are busy, but they're also when you have too many things going on simultaneously and they're all different, it just gets confusing. So yeah, let me show you the other way to do this also is, that to lay out the base, it's starting from over here, and I just explained how you go 16, 32, 48, 64, 80, well, whatever the length is supposed to be on the bottom. But you also have to dimension on an angle. So you would hook the long point of this, and you would go to there, and there would be your first one. Then you're going to go there. So what happens is, and I've done this many times for rake walls, this is exactly the same way that old school people would pop out a rake wall on the slab or on the floor system, except we're just doing it digitally. So we're going to get extremely accurate numbers, all based on how accurate you are with your software. And it was always something that I would do at night before the next day so I could show up. I'd have sheets printed off with all the proper lengths, and then I could just either hand it off to somebody I trusted, or I could do all the cutting myself. And here's the best part. If you cut to this level of accuracy, laying out exactly, here, let's do this, then what happens is a condition that I call self-truing. Oh yeah, you know why that is? Because because over the framing is over here. Whoa, come on now. Oh, that's weird. But anyways, from here to here to here, they're all going to be 16, and from over the outside of framing to here is 16. So let's make sure we're not messing with anybody. Oh, look at that. It snapped. Nice. It has, SketchUp is fun. When I first used it way back when Google invented it, or however it came into existence. Man, why isn't that going down? I just did I want to go up and down. It's like it's stuck on yellow. Well, I'm not doing it that way then. I thought it was like software for kids. I said, wow, it can make squares. They have no detail. It's just a solid. It's like, whatever. But man, with some of these extensions nowadays, SketchUp is amazing. There we go. So you can see. Boom. Okay. And when I say self-truing, so you cut each one of these squared along on whatever this angle is. This happens to be a 12 and 12 or 45 degree, but whatever your rake wall roof angle is. And there would be a rafter sitting on here. If you go look at the PDF, you'll see in Chief, I think I drew that out. And I'll also draw it all the way out in AutoCAD because I'm still learning SketchUp, and so I'm not as quick figuring out how to do things efficiently yet. But I have bought Matt, what is his name? There's a book, SketchUp to Layout. And I love that book. The graphics in there are exactly how I need to see things. It's a lot of pictures. Also, John Brockman wrote a book, bought that, and I bought the digital version also, so I have options. And there's just some really smart people out there. Condocs looks cool. Everybody complains about layout, but I think Mike Brightman is solving that problem. And then Nathaniel Wilkerson with Medic BIM is just unreal. I always liked engineers over architects because engineers always drew things and specified things in reality. And as a framer, that's how I understood how it went together. And architects, they have a whole different concept. You know, they're thinking human interface with the structure and how it blends with nature and lighting and heating and just all kinds of, I don't know, there's a different kind of focus for an architect. And that's where I would get architects that would draw curves and all kinds of stuff. And it's like, oh man, it's so hard. Sometimes a very creative architect is hard to frame. Just ask Larry. He makes very complex stick-framed roofs. But they're beautiful. So anyways, you mark each one of these and that's why I think Larry asked me once why I dimensioned like this. And the only reason is if I'm building this wall as a component, I'm going to cut these boards exactly, 8'5" and 13/16, long to short of 45 degree bevels. I'm going to have two of them. And then I'm going to take this, whichever way this is crowned or bowed or whatever, to determine which way I want to hook on this, find the bottom and the long point, put my tape and just mark. And what I like is I can just hold my tape locked on and just come to this length, then to this length, all the way up without having to reposition my tape. And then for me, what I like to do is I speed square, draw a 90 degree line across the underside of this first top plate so that when I go to, like, I'll nail the studs to the bottom plate and they're all loose. And then I'll start at the top with the first top plate. I'll get it flush on the outside and I will shoot the whatever number of nails. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 3. It depends. The code will tell you. There's a whole table in the 600 section. I think it's like 623. It'll have all kinds of nailing, whatever requirements. These are 2x4, so it'd be 2 nails in the top. And then as you you could even do the bottom one and the top one, get them perfect, and all these are loose. They're not even nailed yet, but they are at the bottom. And then you just slide them over. And when the long point is exactly on that pencil mark that you made, then you shoot in. And watch the cursor. You don't shoot in perpendicular to the top plate because your nails will poke out over here. And it's a natural inclination people want to do. They feel they got a face nail and go like this. What you're going to do is you're going to line up and shoot straight down into this plate, straight down into these studs. Okay, so you're going to go at a 45-degree angle to the plate, but you're going to be perpendicular, or actually parallel to the stud. Now, as you make these all line up on these exact lines, if this had a sag or a bow, this mechanically removes that, and these become super straight. There's no sag, there's no bow. And I've done this not hundreds of times, but probably on at least 60 or 70 projects that had rake walls. Because I've only framed maybe 350 structures in 20 years. And not every single one had rake walls. But anyways, this is how I would do it. And it looks like SketchUp's going to be pretty accurate. I'm going to call up Chief here. And we're going to take a look at what I had rake wall layout. Okay. So this is Chief Architect from the 3D model. So yeah, so what I did was I drew a actual wall in Chief and then had it do the framing. And it kind of looks like the bottom plate. Oh, I got you. The bottom plate you can barely see. Must be the line weights. Oh, better leave those on. Okay. So I let the software do it. And then I actually physically drew it in 2D also. And the problem I found was Chief, when it made its rafter, made the height above plate 4 1/4. But to be more precise, it should be 4 3/8 on a 2x6. So just that little bit of a difference causes some of these, like this is 10' 0 3/4, and this is 10' 0 5/8. So there's an 1/8 difference in lengths. So that half's critical, and that's also covered in the code book if you want to go see. Nice thing about Chief is here's their framing diagram. I had to put the framing reference on the outside of the wall here, and that worked really good for the studs, but then the rafters got all weird. I just don't know what's, whoops, hang on. I don't know what's going on with Chief and their framing. I don't know. There's something happening here. So what I'm doing is I'm making a PDF that's going to talk about rake walls, and we're going to cover these three. And I'll probably make a video for each one. Chief is pretty fast, pretty easy, but it's not accurate. It's good enough for plans for permit, but if you were to do cut sheets, you'd be manually doing it. So that's what I end up doing in SketchUp and AutoCAD. So there's no advantage. It's pretty close here, but I don't know how to. I gotta learn more on how to control the height above plate, and then maybe this would be more accurate. Because it would be really awesome if I was able to draw this and draw a little building like this. And let's do this. What am I looking for? Here we go. It'd be cool if I could dimension all these or have this on a table, because then if I could get the right information, I could lay out this rake wall just like I showed you with SketchUp, with accurate dimensions. And as you'll see, the blocking is at the wrong altitude. What they did is they did mid-span blocking from the bottom plate here to the top plates, and they just put it in the middle. So it would be nice if I was using 8-foot plywood, it would let me put the blocking in 8 foot centered along the blocks, or 9-foot plywood, 9-foot centered. You know, as long as it's blocking, if it's 10 feet and it's a 10-foot wall, you don't have to block. Anything above 10 feet, you have to block. So, and typically I would be blocking if I thought the wall needed it. But Chief is very fast, but yeah, here you go. This is where the blocking is in that wall, and this is where your 8-foot plywood should be. And that's why I don't care for that. But yeah, Chief's got some cool stuff. Oh, yeah. So, you know, I don't have this in SketchUp yet, but I'm going to show you. Let's see, where is that? Well, SketchUp has a thing called X-Ray. And X-Ray is way better than Glasshouse. So I've got a little bit of work to do here. You've seen this. I can just let you hit pause, and you can study it or whatever. Listen to me ramble. This is actual 3D model. This is 2D drawn in CAD detail. This is more accurate. I could actually use this as a cut sheet. This is just a 3D render of the framing. Absolutely has no purpose on the job site except if somebody needs to understand what's going on, then this kind of image will be helpful. But there's no technical dimensions or anything like that. I put the framing reference right there, and it worked perfect for these studs going left to right, but it caused the rafter to split the wall, and it also caused it to be notched up, and I think it tried to become a barge rafter. I don't know, something. It's just weird. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, okay, so this is a super zoomed in picture of the first shortest rake stud, how it comes up the wall, and this is the rafter, and it's barely sticking over. This is some crazy big scale. And so that's where I think it was the 4 1/8 or 4 1/4, maybe it was 4 1/4. And that's what was happening, is it's sticking over. Now, everybody and their brother knows, okay, that's not a problem. But if you wanted to be a legal person, like Suits, the TV show, and you're Louis Litt, and you're being super anal about everything, the code says rafters must be supported. And there's a part of the rafter that's not fully supported. And it's the same on a ridge. That's why you can't use a 2x6 ridge and 2x6 rafters, because the bottom little bit of the plumb cut of the rafter will hang in midair below the bottom of the ridge of the same size. And you have to be fully supported. So if they send out weird ridges like that, like we've done 2x10 rafters or 2x12 rafters, and they'll expect you to use a 2x12 ridge, and you end up having to put like a 2x4 or 2x6 up under the 2x12 ridge, and connecting it with blocks to hold it, so that when the rafters come together at the ridge and they're pushing against each other, that plumb cut is fully supported by whatever depth you needed. And yeah, it's a pain, but that's just what you got to do. So yeah, I know that's microscopic, but some code guy somewhere, he'd win the argument in court. So to beat that, you don't let the software tell you, well, just go with that. If you raise that height above plate a little bit, it pulls that sloping line over more, closer to being perfect with the inside. And that only is a problem with 2x4 walls. If you had 2x6 walls, that height above plate would be way back here, like almost a couple inches back. Not a problem. So you lucky guys down in the south, you get the 2x4 walls. And then let's see, we'll have that one there for SketchUp, and this one here will be AutoCAD, and then I'll be done. So this is, I guess, kind of a 3-part series. And I've rambled enough, so I hope you enjoy. If you have questions, let me know. I really want CAD 911 to take off because I know there's so many smart people out there that if we come together as a community, we will provide answers to all kinds of cool questions. So if you want to be on the channel, you want to be a guest, you want to market yourself, shoot an email to me, and we'll figure out how to do that. I'm not monetized. I just want to get people help. And I don't know everything. I know how to frame, and I fight my way through CAD software. But I know there's super smart people out there. And if there's anyone out there that wants to just collaborate or share things, if you want to just drop them in the comment section, what I would like to do is come up with a good organizational layout of how to create a library of useful quick videos, so that when people run across a SketchUp problem and they search SketchUp on YouTube and they type in their problem, we'll come up within the top 10 results. So there you go. Fun, fun, fun. Thanks so much.